you know. So, but we'll do it for whatever it's got.
Okay, get ready, get set. Wait.
Hi everyone, welcome to White Noise. I am your host, Robyn, and I am here tonight all by my lonesome. No kidding. This is actually it's a very special open mic because it's just me and one other person. I think that's just so awesome. And we're gonna read some stuff. I'm gonna read some stuff. She's gonna perform some stuff because, you know, that's what she does, and it's gonna be wonderful, like it always is. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't really come up with a theme for tonight. I just started reading Pessoa, which is, its own thing entirely. And I've just been feeling, a lot of what he's been talking about, and I feel like it's always interesting because like when I have been like reading new writers recently, I've been finding that like I've channeled their like the things that they're writing about before I've even read them. It's kind of a really curious thing that's been happening to me. And with Pessoa especially, I've been like, I feel like I wrote this line before. So I just wanted to read you like one of his, or maybe two, because we got time. um, yeah, so these are from the Keeper of Sheep, which is one of his books written under one of his heteronyms, which is it's whole thing. I'm not gonna explain everything right now, but just believe me, it's good. I'm actually gonna hear it, so you can make your own assumptions or conclusions rather. Okay, this is just they're all numbered. There's no titles, so this is number 2. My gaze is clear like a sunflower. It is my custom to walk the roads looking right and left and sometimes looking behind me. And what I see at each moment is what I've never saw before. And I'm very good at noticing things. I'm capable of having that sheer wonder that a newborn child would have if he realized he'd just been born. I always feel that I've just been born into an endlessly new world. I believe in the world as in a daisy because I see it. But I don't think about it because to think is to not understand. The world wasn't made for us to think about it. To think is to have eyes that aren't well, but to look at it and to be in agreement. I have no philosophy, I have senses. If I speak of nature, it's not because I know what it is, but because I love it. And for that very reason, because those who love never know what they love, or why they love, or what love is. To love is eternal innocence, and the only innocence is not to think. And yeah, it's February, it's the month of love, as they say. So I just like that poem for a multitude of reasons. Um, yeah, let's see here. I had another one somewhere. Okay, this one's cool. It's number 39. The mystery of things, where is it? Why doesn't it come out to show us at least that it's mystery? What do the river and the tree know about it? And what do I, who am no more than they, know about it? Whenever I look at things and think about what people think of them, I laugh like a brook cleanly plashing against a rock. Because the only hidden meaning of things is that they have no hidden meaning. It's the strangest thing of all, stranger than all poets' dreams and all philosophers' thoughts, that things are really what they seem to be, and there's nothing to understand. Yes, this is what my senses learned on their own. Things have no meaning, they have existence. Things are the only hidden meaning of things. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he's super cool. And I just, I love how he kind of suspends space and time in his poems, and there's really nothing to overthink when I read him, and it's just like everything is what it is, and you just take the world as it is, and there's no reason to think too hard about it. And I think that's a lesson we can all take from, because in these in this world we live in, we're just getting constantly mauled by all this information all the time. And I relate to it because I work at a newspaper, and I'm constantly just like hearing news, like literally all day, every day. And it's like, it's nice to just think that the only meaning it has is that it just is, and that things just happen as they should. And it's like, it just like kind of is like, it's like a weight off your shoulders. That's what his poetry has made me feel. And yeah, super into it if you can't realize so far. And I also just love the cover of this book. It's like, he just looks so cute sitting there, I also, they have a little picture of him too. He looks exactly like he does on the cover. He's this beautiful little man. Look at him. He's got a little mustache. He's just sauntering along in the streets of Lisbon, doing his little Lisbon thing. Yeah, so if you haven't read him before, I'd highly recommend. Yeah, I could go on, but I didn't come here just to read other people's stuff. I have a few of my own poems, and it's cool. I was like really excited to read this in front of a lot of people, but you know what? It's kind of better that I'm not, because I've never done this before on stage. I'm reading poems from my journal, which is like crazy for me, because for so long I was I feel like the poetry that I wrote physically wasn't worthy to be read aloud, because it was just like my mind rambling, which is like, to a lot of people, they're like, oh, like, people, like, that's how people write. That's just how some people write. But for me, I was like, no, that's not how I write. That's how I unleash. And I don't want to unleash in front of everyone. That sounds super ironic coming from me, I think. But I don't know. But I feel like with this journal, this is my newest one, it has my name on it. My friend made it for me. He's incredible. Thank you, Jordani. I've just been feeling like so much more called towards the physical act of writing. I'm such a typer, because like I feel like my mind moves so quickly that I'm like, okay, and it's like typing my poems has always just made more sense, because it's like I can type as fast as my mind is moving. But I feel like, I don't know. I'm explaining too much. I hate that. But I don't know. I just like picked out a few things that I read in here, and that I wrote in here. And yeah, I'll just read them to you. Like, to the one person listening. Two. I mean the one person online. I don't know if they exist.
Oh, there is one person online.
Okay, hi, you, whoever you are. So yeah, they're cute. You know what I'll do? I'll read them again here. Hi, two people. I don't know who you are, but thank you for listening to me. That's crazy of you. So yeah, I'm gonna read. Ugh, I'm like stalling. Okay. I don't name any of these also, because they're just my thoughts. I lay in a liturgical sea of tepid swimmers. They are stuck by a glimmer of light off a building's edge, the remnants of a fight on the sidewalk. Is that blood or ketchup? Is that God or Jimmy Fallon? Playing a set with Green Day off the 50th Street station. The idiot who posted that note on my car, off to pray to his higher power to grant him the big dick he's always dreamed of. I am merely a lamb in a sea of Protestants. I am sacrificial, and my appetite is secondary to my purpose. I have a headache for the first time in weeks. I proliferated by watching 2 videos simultaneously on different screens about xylazine and how to create a crochet bunny holding a heart. I am infantile and indefatigable. This is the title of my memoir. I am studious but stuck on one thing. Why the human brain can know two things, ways of action at once, but still choose the wrong path. Why is it so hard to let go and move on sometimes? I write these questions on pieces of torn paper and toss them into the current of the wind to get lost with the rest of them, all floating away to some sorter in the sky who really just works for the waste department and throws them in the incinerator. It's just how it is, nothing you can do to stop it. So I ride the wave of my own creation and hope for the best. That's one of them. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah. Also, sorry if I keep pausing. I have literally horrible script handwriting. I don't know how to write in script, but I force myself to do it, so it's really hard to read some of this, but I'm trying. Okay, this is gonna be even harder because it's I wrote it with a pen that was dying. Okay, let's just get on with this. My love is the epitome of a magical instrument played at dawn in tropical weather with only the sound of a distant macaw in your ears before the music starts. I search for meaning in the fault lines of my flapjacks, embedded with blackheads that are really just chia seeds, and the crackle and sizzle of butter in the pan is just a message from God. Peanut butter won't save you. But oat milk may, black tea with honey may. I think I am reading beyond my comprehension and writing past my bedtime. I'm already thinking about the discomfort of waking, rolling out of beautiful slumber, and I tried to recall one line from a book I just read. Poetry is like hieroglyphics. Live along some distant day into your destiny, but it's already here. I dream of conception, a fetus growing tentatively inside my personal sepulchral, an opening into my sacred eye, all-knowing and sibilant seer of misdoing. It has been pounded into submission, but still it fights back, fights the power that has oppressed us all. Man. What other three-letter words come to mind? Cat, fat, zzz. Sometimes even I am at a loss for words. I speak in plain water into red submission, begging him to answer me. That was that one. Okay. So, I'm just reading all these because no one's waiting for me. Sorry, you are. No one's waiting for me. It's cool. 3 people. Oh my god. Can you say your names through the virtual web space to me? Can you whisper them in my ear? No, don't actually tell me. Okay. This one I did title, which is super weird for me. I never title poems I write in my journal. This one is called What Lives in Between. A sheep light through blind eye, paws pat, gold dust view, I could abandon my love for you. Spangled sky, eyes closed for temptation is strong in daylight. Its shadows, flora, fulcrum, Andromeda, a turtle's empty shell. I'm a tender orb, reach out to find my center. Tempered glass, see distorted, sprouted version. I admonish thee. She puts violets on her lap, says a prayer. I want unoriginal but contemporary. Speech chapped by irresolute notions. Is it me you want, or the rhythm of my breath, my soft, silent skin? A statue of Aphrodite in the cellar, face stained with tears, words through broken batting cage, from the river to the sink, dishes into foreclosure, delinquent taxpayers, prayer. I read you a poem and you read me a text thread with Patrick Bateman, Rum Diary, Derrida, Foucault. Audiobooks, violent, violets, in your lap. I place a ring on preservation, your gargantuan ego, hard-boiled eggs, free fucking food. Strike a bargain, make out with Al Gore and Pat Ryan, then slit your kneecaps under salt water. Disabled, learn to walk again, hell, learn to fly. Brittle bones, popped blood vessel in left eye. We are all related. Delicate, rosebud, sun exemplar, boy cradle, vision sack, racetrack, boy horse girls, Burlingame, gold speckled Sundance, final quest. I have reached an abbreviation, X. Thank you. I only have like 2 more, I think. Yeah, 2 more. You know. All right, let's just do it. I place a fluffy pink pouch of warm lavender-scented beads on my abdomen. Last night he said my breasts were larger than usual, but despite his greatest efforts, he can't afford to get me pregnant. The warmth distracts my brain from the pain. This morning his mother died of a heart attack, and I thought, great excuse to get out of work. I don't know why. I'm really not that cruel. I'm not sure what came over me. I felt bad, sure. But I just think it's in my blood. I mean, when my grandma heard the news that her sister Joyce died, the first of 10 children, she said verbatim, "Oh, do you guys want your pasta with or without gravy?" And that was that. I could blame it on her age or her mag blood. It may be something else entirely. Death is not easy to comprehend, no shit. Neither is poetry. Why some colors are felt, red, and some are thought, violet. I'm a victim of tax evasion. Fucking sue me. And pick my nails till they bleed. Want a lick? I fantasize about everything and everyone, but I'm a prude when it comes to sex. Am I the problem? I can't help it. I'm sardonic, a cryptic mess of branding instruments, and I carve my name into the heart of everyone I meet, unabashedly. I am not canonical, but demonical. And slightly methodical. I don't know, a bionicle? I'm a kid at heart, a piece of shit on your shirt that just appeared out of nowhere and it doesn't come out in the wash. I'm lead, not really. but I'm Ted the Impressionist, impersonating a human every fucking day, knowing eventually I'll slip up, forget how to speak, become immobile and incapable of interacting. I'm just easily suspicious. That's all it is, and certain people evoke it more than others. He's cool, I guess, in a vague sense, in a post-corporate sense. I'm just a cog in the independent, nonpartisan scene. If I was him, I wouldn't like me either. Thank you. Okay. That's also true about my grandma. She's a savage, that lady. I love her to death, though. Alright, this is the last one I have. I know you guys are like, please, enough. Alright. Why are people so prejudiced against the bus? I don't get it. Tell me, what's wrong with the bus? I want to know. Does it smell? I always liked the bus because you could see who was driving it. I guess you could see the train conductor if you wanted, but you're not forced to encounter him. The train conductor is kind of this omniscient presence that may or may not even exist. Have you ever seen a train conductor in person? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Maybe people don't like the bus because they can see who's driving it and everyone else in the bus. The train is a place to remain anonymous, especially when you pay with cash. Even though there's apparently a $6 fee for paying with cash. Have you ever heard of that? Not just that the MTA does this, but when have you ever heard someone charging a fee for paying in cash? I feel ashamed not to know more about trains and how they operate. Should I? I guess why do you really need to know about anything? To be smart, that's why. It's hard to say if I've ever felt comfortable it's hard to say if I've ever felt this comfortable with another woman. At least since I became a woman. When do you become a woman? At what age? What moment? Why? Why then? I guess I became a woman when I got my first big girl job. Up until then, I did just feel like a big girl. How's that? Just a big girl. There's something subtle in the air. It's the sound of a ticket puncher pockmarking business card like paper. It's a security camera pointed directly at you. I'm a poet, not ashamed of it. Sometimes things just don't change. Sometimes they do, and it fucking sucks. But it's always good. Change is always good. Even when it's bad, it's good. I deleted my Snapchat several years ago. Think of those words, but slowly. Snapchat. So fucking weird. Snapchat. Ugh, it's just bad. Just so fucking bad. I pick a layer and pieces off of my lip, trying to rid myself of pieces of yesterday, not because it was bad, on the contrary, it was amazing. But it's Sunday, it's a new day. I can't remain completely as I was yesterday, so I'm just here, expediting the process. Already different, already changed. Bam, take that. I'm rather dull, really. I have early onset ontalgia and it's spreading fast. The only cure is to be stone cold sober for 2.5 years and pray that the voices go away. I think of people on their commutes in the morning. How many times have they done it? What's their favorite part? What's their least? I like when the forest breaks with the sky and I can see the whole world, as if it was all laid out just for me. It's basically February 20th, which means that it's time to remember, because February is the month of light and laughter and remembrance. She's got my journal, wonder if she'll read my words and understand I'm talking about her. I've made mistakes, but I'm learning French by cinema exposure. After a while, even longer movies feel short. What does this imply? What does this mean? Just thought of my cousin Freddie. We typically go years without seeing each other, but I loved him when I was a little girl. He was my cool, tall, older cousin, and I loved him. I think I've always been fascinated with cool, older men. Not really, though, anymore. I almost had a threesome yesterday, and it would have been great. Thankfully, it isn't too late. I'm just testing the waters, seeing how it feels to get my feet wet. She's younger than me, long, dark, thick hair with bangs and glasses. I think of Heather, someone I used to love. We lived in a volatile world, you and me, sneaking out, walking our dogs, just so we could meet between our houses to kiss. It felt so forbidden, and I never knew how good I had it. I was too distracted by the allure of man, of screwing violently in the back of a car, a dingy basement, your parents' couch. I've made mistakes. I've grown. I've learned. I'm living life with 4 inches off my head, thrown into a garbage, to be processed back into something. My hair, your fingerprints are still on it. That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was a lot. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna read that last part because, I don't know, there's okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be really honest for a second. It's kind of weird I know I do it all the time, but it's kind of weird to talk about sex sometimes, you know? I feel like we put such an emphasis on it in our love lives. It's like this really intimate and personal thing. And it kind of feels like, do I have the right to talk about it? Do I need consent from my partner to talk about it? I mean, obviously I don't. I do. I talk about it. But it's I don't know. There's something about it, you know? There's just something about it. I don't know. I'm rambling now because no one's telling me to stop. You guys really should tell me to stop. That is a good topic for a book. Any takers? Yeah, so that's all I got, you know. I appreciate you guys listening. But we do have another wonderful performer who I hope will, you know, do even better than me because, you know, God knows we need that. No, okay. I'm not in for self-degradation. I love hitting on myself. Literally, I love myself, but also hitting myself. It's kind of fun. Don't hate me for it, all right? I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. Literally, I'm just talking to myself, guys. Just get over it already. All right. Next up, and finally, is Angela.
Oh, okay. I feel like tonight would have been the night for you to test your stand-up routine, Robyn. Yeah, I feel like it's in there. You just might not know it yet. Another time. Yeah, I really only planned one song before I came here. But I'm gonna follow Robyn's lead and maybe go through the archives a little bit, play some stuff that I don't often give myself the chance to. So, but we'll start with what I planned, I guess. I was trying to think of, today's 2/22. I was thinking of twos and trying to think of a song that had twos or two of something or pairs and I landed on both, so this song came to mind. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed, but something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. Thank you. I love that song. Well, good. I'm glad I played it. Okay. So, I have this song that I wrote, like 8.5 years ago, when I was a completely different person. And I wrote it based off of what had kind of turned into like a very, very short form journal that I was writing. And I think I will do something very different for me if I can find it. I might read part of the journal entry that the song is based off of, because they kind of go together. I don't remember where I put it. So this was written about a date that I had with somebody who I fell very, very hard for at the time, and it just kind of crashed and burned very quickly. And I had some good writing come out of it, which I guess is the good part. So if I can find the journal, oh, here it is. I'll read you a snippet of this and then I'll play you the song. And it's funny, like, kind of like what Robyn was talking about. You know, for me, writing about intimacy or even just more personal things or intimate things with other people, it's a lot easier for me to communicate that in the guise of a song, but just literally reading the words is kind of like, ooh. But I'm gonna try it. Okay, so this is March 11th. This was when I wrote this. The first time you kissed me, we were in the dark. I sat and waited for you to move. I couldn't tell where you were. You reached around for my legs, your hands grasped for my face to pull me closer to you. I kissed your nose when I thought it was your mouth. I couldn't see a thing, but I finally felt your lips on mine. It was fumbling and youthful and uncomfortable and perfect. I tried to find a good enough reason to keep you from leaving. I drove the long way home, and we talked about film as we caught the green lights. In the heart of downtown, we stopped at a red, and you turned and said to me, "Do you want to go to the top of the parking garage and make out?" It was sometime before midnight, and the floors were almost all empty. I took the car right up to the top floor, only to see that we were shut off by a barricade. We waited for the man smoking a cigarette to leave, and you moved it to the side while I pulled the car around, only to put it back after I drove through. The perfect crime. I parked and moved into the back seat with you. I was scared to kiss you again, so I let you do it. Your kisses were alternatingly tender and electric. We took off our coats. Your hands moved up my back and behind my head and down my arms and over my legs, delicately but always with intent. I let you move me. We stopped when you tried to tickle me. You liked how ticklish I was and how I had a weird thing against feet. But I let you graze my back and find my ticklish spots. I didn't tell you how good it felt, even though it made me jump. You deliberately placed kisses all over my body. When you kissed my collarbone, it gave me goosebumps. You thought I was cold, but it was really just the feeling of your breath against my skin, the way your chin brushed up against me. I made you keep kissing me so you could give me more. With the front seat pushed up, you put your legs up on the console. I lay next to you and put my legs up on the back of the seat. You put your arm around me and we looked out at the GE sign shining over the buildings, my Beargrass CD playing on repeat. You told me the things you wanted to accomplish in your life. We made each other laugh, and I loved that you thought I was funny. You held my hand and kissed the top of my head, and I could have stayed like that for a very long time. But I had to take you home. I tried to find a good enough reason to keep you from leaving, but all I could do was kiss you again. If I kiss you, will you shut up? We raced each other to see if I could drive to the barricade before you had managed to move it out of the way, but I had forgotten that all the windows were fogged up with our breath, so I couldn't see where I was going. I drove too fast for someone who wasn't wearing a seatbelt in a big car with a foggy windshield. You still beat me. The endings are always the worst part. This is called Real to Me. I think I made you up. I swear I dreamt your hands around my shoulders. I've never been so stuck. In my mind I watch us over and over. 'Cause if you were real to me, then how could you ever leave? I must have been playing make-believe. Something so perfect could never be. That night in the garage, we fogged up all the windows in my parents' car. You kissed me in the dark. You made me feel like I was your brightest star. But if you were real to me, then how could you ever leave? I must have been playing make-believe. Something so perfect could never be. Something so perfect could never be. Looking out at the buildings in our city, staying up to watch the clocks change. The rolling clouds never seemed so pretty. Every night was beauty just the same. The endings are always the worst part. The endings are always the worst part. 'Cause if you were real to me, then how could you ever leave? Oh, I must have been playing make-believe. Something so perfect could never be. Something so tragic could never be. Something and so perfect could never be. Thank you. I called that my fuckboy song when I first wrote it. This one's a little happier. The numbers just fall off the page these days. Some say it's better that way, some grace. But for the first time in God knows how long, I feel strong. Bare bone but ready to run when the time comes. With fire on my tongue, and I know where it's from. Since you came along, though the road that I'm traveling down runs round, it looks like I finally found solid ground. 'Cause for the first time in God knows how long, I feel strong. Now I can sit in the sun with my only one. You know where it's from. Since you came along, there's a warmth in all the silence. There is peace inside the dark. There is love that I had never even known. But now I know it's song. And when each breath leaves me feeling so tired and wild, all I need is to see you smile, and I'm fine. 'Cause for the first time I know I belong. Holding fast to your touch like a crutch. Oh, what have you done? They all know where it's from. Since you came along, there's a warmth in all the silence. There is peace inside the dark. Thank you. I'll do one more maybe? Let's see. I don't remember if I've played this here before, but it's definitely one I don't play often. And it's kind of about looking forward to change. Looking forward to spring, I think that's part of it. And it's called Western Winds. Western winds don't blow too cold on me. I'm just coming up from the ground. It has been a long dark winter sea. To bloom somehow. Western winds, will you take care of me? Sweetly give your grace to my drought. I've grown thin from shouting so desperately. Wrap your arms around me now. And I've gotten this far on my own, but what has it done for me? And I know I can't control the sun as it sets for me, so I welcome the rain as it falls, whatever that means for me. I'm just tired of feeling like I can't climb out of this hole. Western winds, I hope you're kind to me. I'm a little worse for wear. Horizon is far, but I can see all the fields of flowers there. Thank you. Et voila.
Thank you, Angela. That was wonderful as always. So nice. My shoes falling apart. um, I really loved when you read that poem story before one of your songs. I've never heard like a musician read something that I'm guessing inspired the song. I thought that was so amazing because just like it kind of felt like a little puzzle when I was hearing you just putting all the pieces together for both of them. I thought it was so wonderful, and also just the song and poem itself really, I think the themes are so universal, for I guess like women our age, feeling that, that feeling you get with someone where it's like, whoa, I don't ever want them to go. I don't want this moment to end. I've definitely been there many times, and it's just nice when you can find that again, because I think although it's a youthful feeling, like youth is just a state of being, it's not like it ever goes away, and I think we live our whole lives trying to find moments like that, and it's so beautiful when we can put it into words, and I don't know, I love shit. Yeah, that was lovely. Thank you, Angela, like always. Yeah, that's really it, guys. I mean, yeah, I wasn't lying, there was really just two of us here. But it's been so wonderful. Like David said, we've been doing it for an hour now. I don't even know how. We had stuff to read, to perform, and hopefully people are still on. I don't even know. Are people still even listening? Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just speaking into the nothingness void of the cosmic, virtual existence of that we live, and that's I don't know, I love words and putting random shit together. Yeah, so thank you all for listening. To anyone listening on YouTube right now, hello, goodbye, avita sen, ciao. It's been awesome. I love just doing this, even when it's just two of us here or three of us, or whatever. I think it's just great that, we can just get on stage and just talk and be ourselves. And it's so nice after a long day to have something like this to come to and just let it all go, let the stage take everything and then we leave it there. That's what I like to think of it as. But yeah, I'm done talking. Our next open mic is March 8th. Don't know what day that is of the week, but it's March 8th. And a what? It's a Thursday, another Thursday. Hopefully we get a better turnout. But if not, who cares? I'm just here for the ride, man. And yeah, maybe stand up next time, who knows? Yeah, so thank you, Angela, for coming. Thank you, David, for hosting as always. And yeah, see you guys next time. White Noise signing off.